Whoa. No wonder I had a brain fart. But I say, what was I going to talk about? What movie did I forget to mention? What series of movies did I forget to mention? It's really popular, and I could have got a whole lot of flack for, and I'm going to say it anyway. Star Wars. What do you say? And not just, no, no, not the prequels. No. Not the Force Awakens. No. But 4, 5, and 6. The original trilogy. Now that was a shitty ass thing to do to people. Why? I'll tell you why. When George Lucas was having negotiations with Fox to distribute Star Wars, well, they thought it was just to be a space flick. And, I mean, the movies back then still had the stigma of having, for science fiction, having, oh, I could see the wires on the UFOs. So what? That's the technology you had back then. They're not gonna go to the trouble of somehow erasing the wires so you can't see them anymore on the screen just to be work properly. That's a tedious process too, I bet. Frame by frame, little blanking here, little blanking here. That's pretty hard to do. But seriously, people, Star Wars. You know, as much you can say about the trilogy and how great it was in the day back in the day, how great it is now, and how, oh my God, how dare they have all this, and I only have the VHS tapes to live by. The special editions. I went to see the movies in see the special editions like everybody else did. Did I like it? Yes and no. But this is not about the special editions. This is not about the Force Awakens. This is about corporate greed. George Lucas, the great procrastinator, as I call him. He had, he had an idea. Let's call it Star Wars. He made Star Wars. He said he came up with his most complex idea he could possibly come up with. A movie that could have spent, movie series that could have spanned 12 movies. And no point support reading the Wikipedia page for Conan the Barbarian. I heard the original idea for that was making the serial of the latest adventures of Conan. They're going on for dozens of movies, 20 movies at least. I think they were going to try to do, but they only had the budget and interest to do 2. With Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course, we all are aware of the Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, whichever was, Flash Gordon, influence on the Star Wars movies, the opening crawl, and George Lucas wanted to make this whole entire. He came up with all kinds of ideas. Originally, Star Killer was the name and sort of Luke Skywalker, and we decided to change Luke Skywalker because that's more of a ambitious. It's more of a optimistic name than Star Killer. Hey, but hell with this. I wasn't too shocked about any of that stuff. I see the movies. I think I saw the first 2 movies on TV. I finally saw the third one on the VHS tape. That's how old I am. A lot of people are. I'm not telling people to grow up because, I'm telling you, everybody grow up. Seriously. George Lucas, when he was doing the negotiations, they thought it would just be a B movie at all, at best. A B movie, it's just like, years later they made really favorite movies like the last Starfighter, science fiction movies to say after that. It was like a really good. He had a lot of influences. I'm not talking about influence or anything. Just he said, "Can I have the marketing rights?" They said, "Yeah, you can have the marketing rights." Fine, thank you. So he marketed the living shit out of Star Wars for how many years was that? 40, maybe. How many years has it been since Star Wars came out? 1977. Approximately 40 years. I'm 37. I'm not going to say the exact date, but approximately 40 years. Maybe 39. Who knows? I don't care. Who knows? Who cares? You know, really? Approximately 40 years. It was, he decided at some point after making episode 6, which was the Return of the Jedi, that he was going to say, you know what? The special effects have caught up to my imagination. Howard, he pitched the idea, he was talking to Ron Howard. Ron Howard's like about to do a big Willow, but the special effects have not caught up to my imagination. Ron was like, bullshit, I'll make it. So he made Willow. The Indiana Jones movies were made by Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg made those movies, and it was George Lucas' idea. George Lucas produced, meaning he took a little bit of money off the top of a Star Wars money pile, and handed it over to the range. You have that stuff done, and he probably had creative control as well, to some extent. The great procrastinator waits until the 1990s, late 1990s, near the millennium, to come out with the prequel trilogy, which was reviled by people since then. Did it have better special effects? Yes. Did it have to have CGI? No. Did it have to have great special effects to catch up to the imagination? Probably. Were the Jedi much better warriors back then? If you're going for their parlance, yes, they were. How unfair it was to have it all done to the. So anyway, and they also disavowed the expanded universe books. They gave the right. They paid people to come out with expanded universe books. Paid people came out. Oh, and it's paid or bought. The people bought the right to do it. They paid money to George Lucas. Whatever, money changed hands. It's one way to win one way, went that way, and the only heard of. So it's known as Star Wars Legacy, or Star Wars Legends, or whatever it is. But there you have it, folks. Star Wars, an example of corporate greed. A greedy guy who made up a ton of money, produced tons of films, had Skywalker Ranch, and got to be an old guy and all that shit. And who was his contemporary? Michael Jackson. Young, much younger guy. Probably worked his ass off at doing performing. Made some mistakes here and there. And people called him a villain. It's not about Michael Jackson. But I'm just saying he had He had Neverland Ranch. Neverland Ranch versus Skywalker Ranch. You be the judge. Your own personal amusement park or whatever it was. ILM. And after that'd be a film. Makes sense. Just really magic. Too bad that Disney shut down a lot of the stuff going on with Star Wars. The things they canceled, they're not continuing it over again. Yeah, I like Star Wars. I enjoyed it, but still, I can still say critically that it is a cash money grab. So if I can accuse Star Wars of being a money grab, the ultimate money grab, that it created a kidification and toyification of movies ever since. Well, hey. Then if you can say that about, you're saying that about Ghostbusters, which was a great movie series. 2 of them. Now the 3rd has come out. And it's a remake, reboot, whatever you want to say about it. Hey, whatever. Who cares? It's just a movie.